him gone mad. We should like Barry Wilton, just what you mean. The way ye gan on from the pit till the spring. Yet Rita's curl you was just as you think fit. The wages are small that are paid in the pit. But what we are making we really don't know, since they have sent us old maiden lad Joe. To do all his duty is nothing but right, but in heart and curl yours he takes a delight. If he pleases the masters, that's all he cares for. Suppose that he hungers poor men to the door. The sailor's a medium and never in case. He's not the fit man to have in such a place, for he has no feelings for men that's below. This hairy-faced rascal, old maiden lad Joe. This maiden lad tyrant does nothing but shoot. We belongs to this tub because it's laid out. He smacks his old lips, his old hands he will rub, because he has taken a poor man's tub. Amongst the curlewers how wheel he is nan, his hardness towards them he always has shown. But what makes you do it, I really don't know, thou cruel impostor, old maiden lad Joe. Now Joey, bad done, you silly old man. You have nearly done all of the ill that you can. With how did your whiskers are torn and quite grey, and I think it is time ye were starting to pray. Do you think that the masters will keep ye in bread, if you're ever to kill and not confined to bed? When you deed with your corpse, not one step would they go, because it's that rascal old maiden lad Joe. I never did like to wish anyone harm, but I doubt ye will go to the place where it's warm. It's nothing but reap to reap, just as you sow, and they'll burn your whiskers when they get you below. If the old devil sees you, he'll give a great shoot. That's up his old kick away, lay the tubs out. God will and say down to hell ye must go, if ye are the kicker called maiden lad Joe.
One morning at 8:30, I says to my big Ben, on with your clears and get off to school, for you know that I want you to learn.
The school gans in at 9, and you know it's not very far.
You know, like, but I see you be in time, so you're bucking your slates in the drawer. Get off to school as sharp as ever you can.
I can't gan this morning.
You cannot gone this morning? What's the matter with you?
I had a tick, man.
There's always something the matter with you when you have to go to school. I'd even about the tick. I can't get the one myself. If you haven't gone, I'll be getting a lump of paper, and at the bottom there'll be written on,
send your bairns to school. Learn them all you can. Make scholarship your faithful friend, and you'll never see the school board man. I've been very bad for a week.
Well, out that you're getting the tone, and if I let you bide at the end of the day,
well, try to get them on.
if you bide at the end of the day, the morning I'll make you again, for you know very well the next thing we'll get is a summons from the school board man. His Uncle Jack got a summons the t'other day, but the canny hard judge set him clear after he'd paid 7 and 6pence, and he told him if he didn't send his bairns to school and was brought to Lanchester again, he would get his 7 and 6pence back. Maybe. So when he come away, he was singing,
send your bairns to school. Learn them all you can. Make scholarship your faithful friend, and you'll never see the school board man.
so upon that very day,
When I was playing at the door,
there was a man with a buke in his hand that I never seen before. So I kindly invited him in, and the talk he soon began, and I soon got to know by the sound of his air that he was the school board man. He knocked on the door. I says, come in. In he comes. He says, good morning, Mr. Armstrong. I says, hold on, you've gotten the wrong hoose. But he wasn't be stopped. He says, how many children have you got? I says, man, that's an important question. He says, well, but you know what I mean. I mean, how many have you had? I says, be out of this or I'll vaccinate you. So he turned to our best and he says, what family have you had? She says we've had 2 dead and 3 alive. If they'd all been living, that would be 5. Are you satisfied now? He never said another word till he got outside, and he put his face against the window, and he says,
Send your bairns to school, learn them all you can, make scholarship your faithful friend, and you'll never see the school board man.
well, I asked him to sit down. No, I've got no time to spare. I've been to school and I've looked through the books,
And I warrant there's a lot not there.
you can take me word for the day. To the school he'll have to go.
I sure I will, for I scared to death when I meet with the school board man.
He has all the bairns in the countryside scared to death. And not only the bairns, but their fathers and their mothers doesn't care about seeing him. He sent poor Billy Potts a summons the t'other week for their little Bob being off school half a shift, and fined him 5 shillings and costs. He's been off his meat ever since, and that's a bad job for him, 'cause the more he eats, the more tokens he gets. I met him the t'other day. I was sorry for him. All he could say was,
Send your bairns to school, learn them all you can, make scholarship your faithful friend, and you'll never see the school board man.
now I want you to go to the school.
Yes, another way is gone.
I want you to be a better scholar than me, that is, if you possibly can.
If ye hadn't played the truant, when like me ye were young, you'd have made better songs and poetry too, and your songs would have been better sung. I'll do me best to please you, and the best can do nae mair. As gan to sing about mysel when I was born and where. I was born at Shottree, and I've heard me mother say 'twas in the month of August and upon the 15th day. I can mind that morn I was born as if it was the neath. The pits was all idle the next day because it was thunder, but you wouldn't have thought it was thunder in Warhouse. There was that much tea and ginger beer drunken, I was forced to stop the tap. Dolly Potts got tight and flung a saucer at Betty Green, but it missed her and catched me right between the eyes and the mouth, and I've had a great lump there ever since. But we soon made her an outside passenger, and we enjoyed ourselves with singing. He's the best of Bonnie, yes it is the Bonnie. We'll call him Tommy, he's the picture of his dad. So they popped on the kettle, as soon as things were settled. Then the tea was settled, or the birth of the lad. Ah, mind it was warm weather when they received this lad. Me feather danced upon the floor to show that he was glad. Me mother, she laid smiling and called me by me name. She says, God bless thee little heart, I pleased those landed yam. You know, they expected me 3 months before that as a 12-month bairn, but you can see that be me size. That was the first time I seed Betty Lee, the midwife. She took me up and laid her across her knee and said to me mother, I think I'll wesh him. I thought she said, I think I'll thresh him. I took her up, aye. If she'd laid a finger on me, I would have gone straight back to where I come from. I got a good wash and a new suit on, and we started to sing. He's the best of Bonnie, yes it is the Bonnie. We'll call him Tommy, he's the picture of his dad. So they popped on the kettle, as soon as things were settled. Then the tea was fettled, or the birth of the lad. The neighbours come to breakfast, this newborn bairn to see. Mistress White got mortal drunk with drink and Stewart's tea. Miss Watson was religious, and so was Mistress Kay. And as soon as done we breakfast, they both knelt down to pray. The breakfast was hardly over, to the doon on their knees, and began to pray at the tops of their voices. As soon as they started to pray, I started to sing Johnny Comes Marching Home. It was a great favourite of mine at that time. Nan Watson shouted to Vad Betty, the midwife, stop that child from crying, or I must cease praying. And Betty shoots, get away with the bairn's not crying, he's singing. The bairn knows as well as me, those praying a cheat, so they'd better get onto their feet and sing instead of praying. He's the best of bunny, his fierce it is see bunny. We'll call him Tommy, he's the picture of his dad. They popped on the kettle as soon as things were settled. Then the tea was fettled o'er the birth of the lad. My word, says Mistress Robson, as she laid me on her arm. In all me time I've never met with such a whitey bairn. The doctor had just landed, so I seized him by the coat. But little were they thinking that this bairn was a brute. As soon as ever the doctor come within the door, I grabbed him by the neck, and I didn't forget to shake him. But you know, I was a very big lad when I was very little. I asked him who he would like to stop in prison 3 months after his time was up. But we soon got our reap, and me father whistled. Betty and the doctor danced till closing time. Why, I was there we're laughing, so we finished with singing. He's the best of bunny, his guess it is see bunny. We'll call him Tommy, he's the picture of his dad. So they popped on the kettle as soon as things were settled. Then the tea was fettled o'er the birth of the lad. So long as I live, I'll never forget one Saturday when it was sea wet. Everybody was nearly bed for the Saturday till the Sunday, oh. The ducks, the quack and the cocks, the crow, for what was up they didn't know. It nearly drowned us all, sure, that nasty Sunday morning, oh. Mal Johnson, div our husband, says, reach me stockings and me stays. For God's sake, let us have me stays, or else we'll all be drowned to do. The clear said he, the gun we main, like Boyd and Elliot up the Tyne. I've looked for 5 and know it's 9 this nasty Sunday morning, oh. On the bed she began to roll and flung her arms around the bow, saying, Lord have mercy on me soul this nasty Sunday morning, oh. The very cats that ran upstairs got on their knees to say the prayers, thinking they were gone for fares that nasty Sunday morning, oh. I was sorry for Sally Clark, the fire was out and hell was dark. She got out of bed, went out with a sock that nasty Sunday morning, oh. She made a splash, be sick a clatter that Bob cried out, Sal, what's the matter? She says, I's up to me eyes, and water, it must be a nasty morning, oh. Bob jumped out of his bed and all he went wherever he heard a squall, but the water was always shifting Sal that nasty Sunday morning, oh. At last the water burst open the door and washed away both Bob and Tor, and Tinmouth they were washed ashore that nasty Sunday morning, oh.
This is for Woody. I'll take you riding in my car, take you riding in my car, take you riding in my car, riding in my car. Boys and girls, sing a little song. Boys and girls, you sing a little song. Boys and girls, sing a little song when you're riding in my car. The horn goes beep beep, horn goes beep beep, horn goes beep beep when you're riding in my car. Engine goes brr brr, engine goes brr brr, engine goes brr brr when you're riding in my car. I wanna sit in the back seat, I wanna sit in the front seat, back seat when you're riding in my car. Tell you what I do, I'll drive so fast. Tell you what I do, I'll drive so fast. Tell you what I do, I'll drive so fast, riding in my car.
Well, it's the same standard. Everything that they've done is the same style. What are the shortest overall stopping distances? 1.5. Greatest distance of 45. What are the shortest overall stopping distances? 1.5. Greatest distance of 45.
Your braking distance is 45 feet. What would be your thinking distance?
What's your road stop distance?
Oh, like it.
morning. I have a question here for you. What must front seat passengers do to comply with the RTA 1972, Section 33A, MVC, WSB, R 1982?
Part of it.
That's part of it. You're on the...
Where is it? Especially Gala, seatbelt. Oh, no, you think?
Front seat passengers. Yes.
You should know this, not knack. That's right.
You're on the right track.
You've got the main part of the question, wear an approved type of safety belt. There's another...
A little bit more to come.
That out.
It's sick. There's not many calls.
So I don't boil, yes.
Yes. The question is, what must front seat passengers do to comply with RTA 1972, Section 33A, MVC, WSB in brackets, R 1982?
Yes, they must wear seatbelts.
Yes.
And they must wear them done up too. More than that, I have nothing to say.
Nothing to add to it.
Nothing to add.
Fair enough.
But of course, I don't apply because I'm not I don't need seatbelts.
So what does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yes. Can you add anything to
Well,
it?
yes. Cars before a certain date do not require to have seatbelts, and therefore if they are not fitted, of course you cannot wear them. But if seatbelts are fitted, and that depends on the date of the car, then they must be worn if they are fitted. And the seatbelts, of course, I can go on about the seatbelts themselves. But so far as the passengers are concerned, the point is that if seatbelts are fitted, and that depends on the date of the vehicle, then those seatbelts must be worn.
Yes.
So the full answer is wear an approved type of seatbelt in any vehicle to which the law applies, unless you are exempt from doing so.
That's right, which you can be exempt, of course, for certain medical reasons.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very good. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much.
Well, it looks as though we should...
Well, if there's quite a few of them have stopped.
Yes,
We
why
get some
not?
refreshments.
What a good
It's
idea.
not a race.
No, quite so.
That's right. We don't enjoy yourselves.
That's it.
That's right.
Ah, well, we'll give the car a rest, if nothing else.
So, and
Yes.
yourselves.
That's it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good day.
Yes, chilly up there.
Chilly on the top.
Your question.
Right, easy one, please.
Well, I'll do my best. What must front seat passengers do to comply with RTA 1972, Section 33A, MVC, WSB in brackets, R 1982?
It must be safety belts, surely.
It's on that way.
That's the main part of the answer.
That's the main
Yeah.
part. You're on the right track. If you could add to it a little bit.
Yeah. Is it... No, is it to do with the third passenger?
Front seat passengers.
Yeah. Is that the regulation where if you carry 3 says in a transit van, the centre one need to be fastened on the right line?
Yeah, that's, so what does that imply?
Well,
It means there must have been, from
Would
doing that,
you like to rephrase the answer?
yeah, I want to know I'm on the right track, but putting it the right way around to make it sound right. Right. Okay. If there's 2 passengers in the front, they've got to be wearing safety belts. Okay. If there's 3, the centre one needn't. And Am I on it?
Yeah, that's...
If there's only 2 passengers in and you're sitting in the middle seat, you've got to move across and use the outside safety belt. It's all in that line somewhere.
Yeah. Well...
It's about like that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's as near as I can get it.
and that's you're finished.
I think that's about as near
Well,
as
the
I can get
proper
it.
official answer is wear an approved type of seatbelt in any vehicle to which the law applies.
Don't get in!
Unless you are exempt from
Not
doing so.
yeah. Yeah.
Right?
You got pretty near.
Wasn't far away. Right. Puddle on.
There's plenty of extra excuse there. You'll get started all right. What is it?
What is it?
Yeah. Golf tackles.
Yeah, this is what everybody tells me, but since I bought it, it's just been worse and worse. I mean, I took it for service the other day and they left a spanner in.
So you're richer by one spanner now?
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go back to him and say, do you normally get free tools with every service?
That's what the club didn't
Oh, go ahead.
He's in the car right now, we just popped him in, Alex. I see a Sasha and Alex, she is on the books, the best ones are, you only want to hit the nail right on there, he's exempt. So you won't use the correct word.
Who's that? Who's boss, isn't it? Your boss, is it? No.
That's it. She was the only one that hit, we filled the whole lot.
If it doesn't say if we can get these people in,
Stuck two stars.
Oh, that's made it, Janice.
Deal with this, I'll be straight.
Hey, dog.
Some more shares coming down? Not yet. The way for some air, like.
I think maybe we should first of all pop down to the quality. Do you want to choppy, it's not big size or anything. Of that old chap's
Oh yes.
words, was it? Oh yes, he'd come back after the First World War and he'd moved to another colony. I just got nicely settled in when the general strike commenced. This caused a great deal of chaos and inconvenience at the time. At times really bad. There was no Durham Miners Gala held in Durham that year, but instead there was one held at Burnhope on the hillside next to the polo field, overlooking the main road which leads to Durham. So that's right. That's it. There were a good few lodges with their banners attended, and many speakers, including RPG Cook, who was an official at that time for the mines. Anyway, that's just the relevant page. He doesn't mention it again. He doesn't say anything about it, you know, more details or anything. No.
It's no the proof, isn't it? Evidence that it did take place.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Well, you mean people have questioned it?
Yeah.
Pit scene. What's left here? Dummies, you're okay?
Yes, we've got them.
Oh yes, there'd just be the supports for a roof for the mining scene.
Okay. 10, and that'll be 5 boards. Hope he's got 5. But apart from that, there's no problem. I've got a list of all the other things you see here. Just those that are left out. Right. Well, I don't think there's anything that we're needing to do here. So, will we all fit in the van?
We've got a few.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't leave some, just take the van and enough seats for us all, and we'll go around to camp.
Sorry, we got the list. That's it there.
Only to be left.
Take 4 of those. About half of them more.
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh yes.
Right, what your planks do as well?
Give me the planks.
Can I bring the van over here? Can I get 4 of those?
Well, you drive over there. I suppose you'll be able to drive over there.
The only one?
Yes, thank you. I thought it was all big stuff, but you sure that's all right?
You get 6 more ones. 6 more. We need 3 of these. Because we've got a middle, we've got 2 ends. Right.
Okay.
Yes, the one that's wait. Then you took it there and threw it through it. So 1 inches long for your entry.
Came down, it carried on further still for about another 1.25 miles. And the height of the mine in those days was about 3 foot 6 inches high. Not very nice, was it? No. Well, there you see the actual seam of coal that was worked by the miners in that period of time. The little old hand pick that he used, and he was called a hand ewer. And at one time the miner worked at the coal face with that little hand pick for a 10-hour shift. Very hard work indeed. Now this little machine you see here was the first type of coal cutting machine that came into the mine, the Hardy Axe coal cutter, or as the miner called it, the pom-pom cutter. Very noisy little thing and very dusty, and it was worked by compressed air. Now in this little drift mine, there was no danger of gas, and the miners used naked lights. In fact, right up until the day it closed. And after first working with the candle lamp, the next means of naked light the miner used was, of course, the old carbide lamp, which you can see was a very good light indeed. Right, just let me through there, please. Thank you. Just stand up.
Whether it's safe to take a lap, is it the type of coal? Or?
Well, you see, there's no danger of gas because you haven't got the pressure to start with, you see? You're not very far underground in a drift mine. You work in the first seam of coal underground. So you hadn't the danger of the pressure and the gases coming out of the coal. And this seam of coal was known as a steam coal. Right, here we have the other method the miner used to get the coal. This was in between working with the little hand pick and the machines coming into the mine. And that was the use of explosives to blast the coal out. And here you see the little hand drill that the miner used to drill the holes in the coal face with. Now what he would do first, before he drilled in fire, because you weren't allowed to drill and fire in solid coal. That was very dangerous. There was nowhere for that coal to drop, and there was only one way those shots would blow, and that would be back out. And as I said, it was very dangerous. So what he did first was curve the coal. Now by that I mean he would get down with his little hand pick and take about 6 or 7 inches of the bottom of the seam of coal out, right across the full width, in a depth under there from about 2 to 2'6". Then he would drill his holes. And as I said, when the shots went off, down would come the coal. Now on each tub of coal that the miner filled, he would put on one of these little tokens. Each miner, of course, had his own number, so that when the tub went back to the surface and was emptied, they knew by the number on the token which man had filled that tub of coal down the mine. That's how they kept a check of his output, and that is how he was paid. Now to give you a little idea of the miners' wages, and now we're talking just shortly before the war started, 1939. For filling an average of 12 of those tubs you see there each day, 60 tubs a week, and there's 800 weight of coal in each tub. That was 24 ton of coal he mined in a week. And as I say, in 1939, the average
what do you think that one will do, Joe?
I think you need something like Home Sweet Home for the fireplace. That might do for the other wall, you know, as another.
Right. So you think of 2, eh?
Oh, much. Well, numbers on those ones. And you want a pigeon one as well?
Take the pigeon one as well.
Right, I think so. So we want... Sorry, Joe, you're going to have to carry something. Could get you into a bother, right? Wouldn't they get... Now, can we sort of clean these up a little bit?
Yes, I don't know what you can do with paper.
No,
so that's why I've been...
not very much.
Not a lot, no, but you're welcome to give them a wipe.
Dust
and
Tile polish it does.
yeah, it's all tile polish. Alright, maybe 1 or 2 more outside. That might be... It's a fake, that. It's the right sort of wood, you know.
It's too heavy for...
Be a killer, that. Sideways, or...
Sideways for now.
Oh, you can tag all the rest of that.
is always of good cheer. For he knows how to walk and he knows how to shock and he knows how to suck good beer. Well, it's down the shaft of a Monday morn, the cable lifts the best. In a busty seam with Thompson's team in a flat called the 14th West. The face is 105 yards long when measured from nook to nook. When you're crawling now the scufflings, lads, keep doing or you're sure to get stuck. Oh, the collier lad is a canny lad and he's always of good cheer. For he knows how to walk and he knows how to shock and he knows how to suck good beer. When the coals fire down and the shuttles they fly, the belts get loaded full. Till in half an hour a lumpkin's by and the motor will not pull. Broken belt is the cry and we all crawl out to the mother gate to mend. Geordie Hall, he's the deputy in walk flat, says she'll drive us round the bend. Oh, the collier lad is a canny lad and he's always of good cheer. For he knows how to walk and he knows how to shock and he knows how to suck good beer. So we pull and we strain for to fix it again, and when it's been put straight, Jim Jones, that's the secretary of War Lodge, says it's time that we had more bait. So we take ourselves to a quiet spot with a plank and a chalk for a seat, and the cracked last flies thick and fast that the Danes at the club last night. Oh, the collier lad is a canny lad and he's always of good cheer. For he knows how to walk and he knows how to shock and he knows how to suck good beer. Well, it's very hard when you're paid by the yard to take long or your bait. So we crawl back on, get some timbering done, for that belt we can hardly wait. Oh, it's 26 inches high, me lads, and the walk is really grand. And the fillers pays £4 a day, it's the best in all the land. Oh, the collier lad is a canny lad, and he's always of good cheer. For he knows how to walk, and he knows how to shock, and he knows how to suck good beer.
This is an exhibition which is going to be finished by tonight. The trouble is, we're not sure how we're going to do it yet. We've got the floor down. The problem is putting walls to be strong enough to take any weight.
Come on, you're camera shy.
Well, we're using these boards here for the walls. But I wish Eddie was here because he knows what it's all about. What it'll be is there's going to be 3 scenes. These 2 sections are going to have a mining scene. This centre section is going to be an old kitchen scene with a range, etc. This will be a school scene when we get all the gear for it. There'll be a couple of desks, a blackboard, etc. When we've got it built, the problem is we've got to build it so it can be demountable, carried over to the field, and put up again there in next to no time. So, and we're making it up as we go along, which is even harder. Have you done them all? Yep. Everything's stripped down. Have you fastened them up again so they're all nice and solid?
No, I haven't.
Are they flapping around?
Yes, yeah.
Right. We'll bring the 2 out. See, I don't quite know how we're going to do it. We'll either
man's job to do.
so dramatic.
I'll be ready in a minute. When we come back down, you want when we come back down? Right up.
The cameraman next